Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer and coach from Live, Love, Give. And today I have a message for you which is really exciting to me because it's something that is absolutely on top of my mind in terms of what I'm learning about and what I'm diving into. And as you guys know who've been following me for a while now, you absolutely know that one of my favorite topics is around this concept of building extraordinary quality of relationships. And also that one of my highest needs and values is to have depth of connection in our relationship. So getting out of this, surface level sort of existence and actually really going the depths of love and mastering the mindset of love. And so it takes me on, a number of different rabbit holes that I go down often because I'm always trying to challenge my current belief system around what love is, around everything really. But, today we're talking about the concept of love. And also, look at particularly people who have absolutely polarizing different models of what works for them and belief systems, and that fascinates me because I think that every single person has something of value that we can learn from, even if sometimes it's what challenges us and maybe their belief system is just something that gives us an opportunity to test ourselves out and why we believe the things that we believe and so forth. So really, today's message is all about utilizing the mindset of successful, open relationships to enhance all of your relationships, whether they be intimate relationships, friendships, family, whatever they are. So this might be kind of jarring for some people to think into the terms of open relationships. So let me just establish what I mean by an open relationship right now. And I don't maybe necessarily have all the terminology down at this stage. It's something that I'm diving into. But let's just say for the purposes of today's conversation, an open relationship is one in which, there's a commitment between two people in a relationship, but they have freedom to have relationships or intimacy with other people outside of the relationship. Well, challenging, right? And particularly if you're like me, somebody who has in the past had very monogamous relationships. So at the moment I'm single, but in the past it's always been long-term monogamous kind of relationships, and I haven't really had much information about what an open relationship is. But my journey in discovering what's the mindset behind this, because for me that's really challenging to think about. How could people be okay with their partner wanting to sleep with other, or not just wanting to sleep with somebody else, but actually sleeping with other people, and then they come back and they still have this relationship? And what's going on with that? Is it that they just don't care about each other? Is it that they have some sort of weird fetish that I don't know about, that they like that? I don't know. But what I've done is I've gone really deep in terms of really tapping into the mindset of what's behind that from people that I can see are successful with it. So oftentimes one party in a relationship wants something like this and the other person certainly doesn't, but they compromise and they go along with it, and it ends up really badly. That's what I've been discovering. But some people have managed to make a success out of their open relationships, and that's what I've been studying. I'm not really that interested in studying, failures in that area. I want to learn about mastering the mindset and of something very challenging to the normal everyday human being like you. You're like me. I can't say for you. I don't know. So I wanted to know, what is it that they do and what is it that they believe, and how do they use this for their growth and reaching new levels of their potential, and potentially deepening their quality of relationship and creating something even more extraordinary than what other people who are living by what I know in monogamous relationships. So I want to unpack what I've been learning and what that mindset is behind those people who actually make it successful. But ultimately, if you want to learn a bit more from somebody or hear somebody talk into this, I would direct you to Aubrey Marcus. He has a podcast, the Aubrey Marcus Show or something, runs a business, onit.com, sort of health guy, but he really openly talks about his open relationship. And so you'll really hear some different perspectives on that. But ultimately, my core belief is that our relationships, and in particular our intimate relationships, are absolutely our biggest vehicle, our greatest vehicle for personal growth. Because if you think about our intimate relationships, that's where we are most triggered. That is where most of our fears come to the surface there. That's the scariest place to tackle who you are and have somebody come into your life and and discover more about who you are to the depths that most people aren't. So I want to talk into that, but really what I want to sort of put into your minds, and what I really love about the perspective behind this, is that the people who are successful with this, and one particular person that I know, Aubrey Marcus and his partner, they seem to have got this together, and they are so focused and committed on their personal development that they're open to this. And they by no way say that it is easy. They say that it is incredibly challenging, and that's why most people wouldn't want to go there, because most people want to live in comfort and be safe and secure. But what happens is, my belief is starting to be that we can start mastering the art of some attachment in our relationships rather than mastering the art of what really love is. And what happens with these people who are actually successful in their open relationships is that they actually have to master their own internal world, and they have to take more of a metaphysical perspective on our connections. So, or a more spiritual or metaphysical kind of perspective, which is, that if we're all one, then my pleasure is your pleasure, and my pain is your pain, and my success is your success. We're all connected in that way. And if I have a problem with something that that's making you happy, or making you successful, or making you reach a new level of your potential, then what's that saying? That's nothing about that person. It's all about me and my own fears, my own insecurities, and my own limitations, and my own ideas around possession, all that sort of stuff. But as you guys know, a couple of days ago, I spoke into a challenge that I was having with a beautiful friend in my life. And since, if you read my post today, we've had some challenging times where I had to set some boundaries, and we've ended up in a much better place than we were before or ever have been, because we've gone deeper in our connection and really talking this stuff through. And one of the big pieces, not that we're in that kind of relationship, and not that we're in a monogamous or an open relationship, we're talking about a friendship in this way. But what had happened with that relationship, there'd been some jealousy, where that friend of mine, couldn't be happy for my success in an area, because they were looking at somebody else being the person who added value to my life that eventually led to my success. And ultimately, if you look at it like that way, we can understand our egos. We're human beings. That gets in the way. Even if we're well-intentioned, we're going to have that get in the way at times. But to bring that into this disconnection in that friendship because you got jealous, and that prevents you from being happy about somebody who you supposedly love and care about, their success, well, that isn't love, and we need to enforce healthy boundaries with that. And so, since having that communication, and also I'm always studying love and perspectives around mastering the mindset of love, and this is just one that has really helped us get to a better connection and relationship, is that ultimately these people who have this success in open relationships, is that their main focus is this commitment to the greater happiness of the other person. So it's not a commitment to their ego and possession and ownership and their jealousies and resentments, it's actually very selfless, and it's very focused on the other individual. What is helpful or supportive or makes them happy and healthy is what is good for them, and that's what I support. But our own fears and insecurities can oftentimes get in the way of that, and that is ultimately where we need to do. That's why I say, our intimate relationships are our biggest vehicle for growth, because they're going to bring up our fears and insecurities. But the challenge is not letting our fears and insecurities diminish and limit and restrict another human being from being happy or growing or whatever. That's not healthy. That's ownership and ego, and it's far from love. And so getting ourselves to a perspective of being able to get beyond our own fears and insecurities and commit to the greater happiness and potential of this person that we say that we love, coupled with an ability to be 110% genuinely honest and open in our communication about everything. If you can't go there, you're not going to be able to go the depths of love and the potentiality of, experiencing that. And also coupled with your ability to not hold on to and build up and stack resentments. So the onus is on you to take responsibility for your own fears and insecurities, and to have the greater good of this human being that you love in mind and in front of mind, above all else, and so if we can bring that, I'm not saying that we all have to, have open relationships and we shouldn't be monogamous. I'm not saying that at all. Really, I'm not. But what I am saying is, how can we learn from that mindset of people who go the extreme in this realm? And how can we take that mindset and put it in and inject it into whatever is healthy and comfortable and what we want for ourselves, what feels right to us on the individual level? How can we inject that mindset into what's right for us to enhance our relationships and our connections? And for me, that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm taking the mindset of committing to the greater happiness and potential of this person that I love, coupled with me taking on the work for all of my fears and insecurities and not allowing them to limit or diminish another human being. And also being 110% crystal clear, open, honest, genuine, authentic 100% of the time. And also taking it upon myself to not get stuck and limited by resentments, speaking them out and communicating, because resentment is ultimately the vampire that drains your relationships and love. So I definitely hope that me talking into this is really resonating with you guys. I absolutely love this topic of relationship, because I really do believe if we master this area of our lives, we do master our fulfillment. And so if we can build these quality relationships, it's going to make every other area of our life so much easier, and we're going to have the support and the encouragement and the challenge and the community that we need to get to our ultimate levels of potential. So before I check in with you guys, make sure that you are dropping any questions or comments or feedback, or just say hi, because I love connecting with you, so that I can connect with you live right now. And if you haven't already, I really can't urge you enough to check out that free training that I did for you guys. It was so value-packed. I've got such great feedback from you guys who have checked it out, that it was really worth your time. So any of you guys who haven't done it, make sure that you click on the link above and definitely do that. And for any of you guys who are absolutely ready, committed, and you want to work with me personally and a small group of phenomenal human beings who are absolutely pushing the boundaries of their potential, then you want to definitely click the second link that I put up above to join us in the 8-week Limitless Potential Empowerment Group Coaching Program. It is phenomenal. Oh my gosh, if you've ever wanted to work personally with me, this is by far incredible, the cheapest way you could ever do it. So it's literally the whole price of the 8-week program is literally 1 hour of coaching with me. It's phenomenal. And so I want you to be a part of it, because the reason why I'm only offering it at such a drastically discounted rate right now is because it's my first ever round of this program with you as a group. And so I want to make sure that every single human being I'm absolutely honing in on and making you all my success stories, and definitely want you to be a part of that. So if that resonates, jump on the link above. And if you want to learn more in depth about what to expect in that program, check out the free training that I did. It talks into all of it, and at the very end it goes really in depth in the program. So if it interests you and you want to learn more, definitely make sure that you're doing that now, because we kickstart on the 26th of March. So it's only like a week and a half away. So limited time, limited places. Make sure you're in there. Can't wait to go deep with you. And let me check in. I've got Alexandria. I just spoke to you this morning, beautiful human being. So good to see you. And Kaden and Jed and Sam and Martin and Abhishek and Lucy's here and Justin and Stephen and Alexandria, loving my beautiful braid. Thank you so much. And Lisa's here and Kaden. Sounds like this could be related to that question I had about a week ago. Yes, exactly right, Kaden. I couldn't remember on what video you wrote that question. So if you do have it, and if I haven't answered it in terms of what I've spoken about today, could you throw it out to me right now? Because I was speaking to beautiful Alexandria and I told her what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and she said, yeah, Kaden's question. And I was like, yeah, I don't know where it is, but that's exactly why I wanted to bring this message to you guys. So thanks, Kaden. But yeah, if I haven't answered it, please drop me a comment below. And Ed's here, and Peter, and Mike, and Bradley, and Andre, and Sam. Thank you so much for loving my hairdo. And Lizzie, and Judy, and Diamond, and Jessica, and Hassani, awesome. And Ed, value others' time, not just about you. Oh, okay. Sorry, I think he was not liking today's video, but that's all right. Marco, great topic about respect and communication. Thank you, Marco, and I'm grateful that you're here, my friend. And Sam, are you thinking of exploring open relationship? Good question. I'm exploring the mindset of it right now. But yeah, I haven't made any sort of decisions about that. Certainly not been my experience so far throughout my life. But I'm always interested in learning, and who knows. But thanks for the question there, Sam. And Mark's here, and Rico, and Ramon, and Stephen, and Jessica. Sam, yes, most triggers are on from romantic relationships. Absolutely. I think we can all relate to that. And Martin's here, and Jody. Lucy, and you are listening livecast now as we travel down south. That's awesome, Jody. I love it. And I love that you guys are together. Such beautiful sisters. And Jared's here, and Kirk, and VJ, and Diaz, and Sam. Listening to you, I feel your relationship expert. Thank you, Sam. I love relationships. I think, that's how I started in what I do right now in relationship coaching. And so I've done a lot of learning in this realm, and I'm so juiced by it. So thanks, Sam, and Amy, and Savula, and Raul, and Lauro, and Edka from Mexico. You're so welcome. Thanks for being here, my friend. And Pedro, and Abdul's here. I'm doing really good. Hope you are as well. And Sanula. Oh, thank you so much for that beautiful compliment. I appreciate that. And Abdul, myself and my family are doing really well, so thank you. And Simona's here. Great to see you. And Kaden, you're so awesome to find that question. My question was, considering love without condition and staying authentic with our relationships, what turns you away from open relationships? I haven't dated more than one woman at once, even when I dated someone who lived in England while I live in Houston. And I personally have no jealousy in relationships. It's natural to be attracted and find people attractive, but the more fear I let go of, the more it makes sense to me. Not for everyone, but I'm certainly fascinated. Yeah, that's kind of, I always think like you're the same person, Kaden. So weird. But yes, absolutely. That's my experience as well. I am somebody who loves to keep an open mind about all things. Zero judgment. What works for somebody if it works for them and they're happy with that, that's great. Go ahead. And it's not hurting anybody else, perfect. And I love learning about different people and their belief systems, particularly if they're really challenging for me. So I think on my journey, I was always somebody who was quite black and white in terms of relationship. Like, I had some pretty strong ideas about, don't, if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, be in that relationship. If you want to sleep with multiple people, don't be in a relationship. That was, very black and white for me. So what I love about the concept and idea about an open relationship is the honesty and the genuineness and the lack of lying and the complete clarity and, that it's just the authenticity and the openness, right? So I find that, infidelity tends to happen in, it can only happen in monogamous relationships where, I shouldn't say that. So the infidelity is the unfaithfulness to that partner. Whereas these open relationships can have complete fidelity, so complete faithfulness to their partner, because their perception of faithfulness is honesty and having integrity and not lying to one another, not hiding anything. And so to me, that fascinates me. And I think that when we put a lot of rules around labels and people and relationships, it can oftentimes feel so restrictive to the individual that they have to have some sort of avenue to sort of explore who they are, and then they're totally dishonest about it. And to me, if you don't have honesty, you got nothing in a relationship. If you're hiding stuff, it's not a relationship. It's just a big fat lie that absolutely limits your potential and theirs, and you're not living love. You're not living the mindset of love. You're absolutely just living in your fears, and that is a life filled with regrets. So so it's something that, I don't know, I'm fascinated with the mindset. And I think that you don't have to have an open relationship with someone to have a truly authentic, genuine relationship with somebody. It doesn't have to be an open one. I think what has to happen is the individuals have to be in total alignment about what they want in a relationship, and knowing full well that we as human beings, particularly if you're into your growth, you're constantly evolving, shifting, changing, experiencing new things, changing belief systems. So what you commit to might change and it might evolve. In fact, it's going to if you're authentic and you're willing to be 100% open and genuine with that. So I think the two people involved have to determine what is absolutely healthy, right for them. No compromise. Find the right person. Have a mindset of abundance. Don't try and fit into somebody else's box that doesn't feel right to you and doesn't feel authentic to you. If you two absolutely want a monogamous quality relationship, then you can use the exact same principles that make an open relationship successful, and I believe have absolute success. But then if you have two people who have the mindset of openness, an open relationship, then that's good for them as well, and you can have just as an extraordinary quality of relationship with that as well. It's all about the three things that I mentioned in terms of having an absolute commitment to the betterment of the happiness, the growth of the happiness for this other person, coupled with definitely being 110% open and honest, no lies, nothing held back, and working on never, stacking those resentments and dealing with your own fears and insecurities so that you don't limit another human being from their potential in whatever area and whatever is going to make them happy, grow them, healthy for them, whatever it is. So I hope that answered your question, Kaden, but I'm just learning so much about it. So I'm totally fascinated by it too. And thank you for your very kind compliment there, Abdul and Richard. Most successful people who achieve their highest potential are in a 100% committed lifetime relationship. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, to name a few, with the exception of those in the entertainment business. In my experience, it is the ones who fail in business and in life that have open relationships. A lack of commitment in a relationship shows the weakness of that person's character, in my opinion. Love your perspective, and I so appreciate you sharing that here, Richard. And this is the piece, that's what my perspective was as well, until I started really diving into the world of Aubrey Marcus. I think he's a great example of somebody who is absolutely growing himself, reaching new levels of consciousness, potential, all of it, and hearing him talk into his relationship, because we can't really have an opinion on somebody else's life unless we fully immerse ourselves with open curiosity or have the experiences ourselves. But I think it's important to stay open-minded and hear another person's perspective. And you know what? I've come to believe that for him in particular, he is creating with his partner. I've heard them both talk together very openly about their connection, their relationship multiple times, not just a one-off. And for me personally, what I see for them is even more commitment to that other person. And so they are absolutely putting their own fears and insecurities aside for this person to do whatever makes them happy, and they come back even deeper, more deeply connected, because they're not connected to this person just because they want that attachment, and their ego would be too scared for them to potentially find anybody who's better, and therefore they stay in this kind of attachment. They actually have such freedom, and it's not because they don't care about each other or they're not committed to one another. They're so committed to that other person living their highest potential without restriction or limitation in any area, that they come back to one another, and they're even creating an even better, more quality relationship. So all that's different is that intimacy piece that most of us can't get our mindset around, because we'd be too jealous, because the number one fear that drives us all at our core is that we're not good enough. So what if our partner finds somebody else who's better than us? And it plays out all the time. It doesn't need to be in intimacy. It plays out all the time. It's what I was talking about with this friendship of mine, in terms of where, he got jealous that somebody helped me be successful in breaking through in a business concept. It wasn't an intimate relationship, so it's even more extreme. But I would challenge you on that, and I definitely get you to go and check out Aubrey Marcus. I'll even try and find an article that I read from him that I think is amazing, really depicts it, and also his podcast. He talks very openly about it. So I love that, Richard. Thanks so much for sharing. And Sanula, your messages are very helpful regarding transformation. I'm grateful to hear that, Sanula. Thank you so much. And Mandy's here, and Mary, and Jody. We are enjoying your live podcast. We miss you, beautiful heart. Oh, I miss you guys so much. I love that you're joining me live. It's so awesome. And Frank, love this lesson. Awesome. And you're from Norway. Beautiful. And okay, and Marcine, I'm loving that this is resonating, and Paul's here, and Hilton, and Austin, and Robbie. Awesome, guys. I am so grateful to have each and every one of you guys joining me live today. I hope that today's message has resonated or even challenged you to kind of expand your mindset, work out why people do the things that they do, and how you can utilize their mindset for the people who are successful with it and bring it into whatever area of life that is. So today's message is all about relationships and utilizing the mindset of successful open relationships to enhance all of your relationships through definitely having a commitment to the success and happiness of another person over and above your fears and insecurities, and your commitment to doing the work around your fears and insecurities, not letting resentment stack, and working on your jealousy to break through and create a quality connection. And Kaden, yes, thank you for sharing. Rather than living in fear of loss due to breaking rules and having an excuse throw dishes, pictures, etc. Love and authenticity are the focus. My understanding of open relationships is 100% communication of what each wants out of life and includes sharing pleasurable experiences with other equally authentic and loving individuals. If a genuine person meets a genuine person, there are no labels, just clear communication and understanding which could lead to cut off at the end there. But absolutely, Kaden, I totally resonate with everything that you've just said there. It's such a fascinating topic to expand our minds and deepen our connections in our relationships. So with that all said, I really hope that you guys have enjoyed today's topic. And as always, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you, to wherever you are in the world today. I hope it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary. And I hope that you definitely click on that link above and watch the free training if you haven't already. And if you have, what are you doing? Why aren't you joining us in the 8-week Limitless Potential Group Coaching Empowerment Program? It's going to be phenomenal, and you've got till the 26th of March. That's when we launch, but if places fill up before then, you miss out. You'll have to wait for another few months till I launch it again, but I definitely want you guys a part of it. So and something truly special, absolutely, Kaden. And Hassani, from what I've seen, there seems to be varying scales of openness in open relationships. I've seen one open couple that I really admire because they are also very open in their communication, and it's beautiful to behold. They don't just go and be with whoever they want, but if they are interested in a relationship with someone else, they come together to talk about it. Still, in a lot of ways, very confusing to me, but I do admire the mutual respect and openness they have with each other. Absolutely. And I love that you've got some experience with people in your life there, Haas. And, that's the thing. What's right for some people doesn't mean it has to be right for you, but you've got to work out what that is and make sure that it's being driven by love and authenticity as opposed to fears and insecurities. So, boom. Thanks so much for sharing, Haas. And, yes, you will, Kaden. And Marcin is here, and Marlon, and Shamika, and Sapreet. Everybody who's just joining me, I really hope that you catch today's recording, get a ton of value from today's message. I'm signing off. See you guys later. Thanks for being here. Sending you all of my love, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow.